Just going to test the live to see if we can hear everything. Hi Sheila, hello there. Good evening. Hello Sally. You brought some rubbish jokes with you? Hi Anne, hi lovely. Good evening Carol. Hello everyone, I hope you're all well. I was waiting for UPS and they've not turned up, so I'm not a happy bunny. Hello Ruth. Hi Sylvia. Good evening. Good evening everybody. Hello Trudy, warm welcome. Good evening Deborah. Hope you're well. Hi Chris. Hi Teresa, warm welcome. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me. Hello Andy, lovely to have your company. Good evening Kim, good evening. Thank you for joining me. I hope everybody's well. December the 3rd. Wow, it's my nephew's birthday. Hello Bev. Hi Monica. Welcome from Norway. Warm welcome. I'm on time. Hi Rebecca. Hi there. So hopefully we can see everything. Hi Kim. I hope you're well. Hi Pat. Good evening everybody. Let me just... Hi Heidi. Hi Helen. Let me just turn that a little bit. There we go. Hello Kate. Hiya Heidi. How are you Flower? Thank you for your video today. What do you get if you cross Santa with a duck? A Christmas quacker. That's not too bad actually. That's not too bad. Hi. Hello Catherine, good evening. Hi Rachel and Julie, good evening ladies. Thank you for joining me. I love how Rachel says, hi Nanny Chris. All good. Thank you Heidi, thank you. So welcome ladies, thank you for joining me. We've had quite a bit of inspiration so far. Oh, thank you Carol. And we've had Heidi this morning who's done a lovely project. You can find Heidi's project on Heidi's YouTube channel, Heidi the Yorkshire Crafter. We've had a wonderful project from Patricia which you can find in the group on Facebook. Hello Amanda. Hi Fiona, you're very welcome Flower. Hello Avril. Oh, thank you Beverly. Thank you Heidi. I just love your videos and thank you for your time. The same to Nicola as well. And Patricia has done a lovely project in the group as well. And Anne's done another project inspired by one of the lives. So that's lovely to see as well. Hello, Sue. Stroke Robert Page. Good evening, Leslie. Just woke up from a 10-minute Anna nap. So I'm recharged. Oh, that could be dangerous if you recharge, Leslie. Hi, Jeanette, Louise, Miranda. I'm ready for the trivia. Hi Miranda, I hope you're well. Good evening Penny. Hi Louise. Hi Helen, warm welcome. So today I'm going to be using some craft card. It was a fab card, wasn't it Chris? And you can catch Amanda's live that was at 4 o'clock. Amanda did a technique with a tag at 4 o'clock which you can find on the group, and I will add the YouTube link as well. Hello Bertine, hello there. So I'm going to be starting on a piece of pink frog card. I nearly said super smooth then. Pink frog craft card. Hi Diane, hello lovely. So I'm going to use craft card, and what I've got is I've got a matte and layer in white that's 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, and then another matte piece 4 1/2 by 6 1/2, So these are my layers. Yay, hello Jane. So these are my layers, and then I'm going to use a 5x7 card blank, just so that you can see the layers. Yes, the ribbon was lovely, wasn't it, Bev? I'm glad you found us, Jane. Hello, Nicola. So I'm going to be working on craft card. So I'll just go through those measurements again. 4x6 for the craft, 4¼ by 6¼ for the white, 4½ by 6½ for the craft, and 5x7. I think it's either 280 or 300. I can't remember now. I'd have to look at the packaging. I can't remember. Can't remember. But it is, let's have a feel. I'd say it's 300. It's quite strong. So yes, I've got, that's all my matting and layering. Hello, Miep. Hello there. Warm welcome. So this is, I'm going to start with the craft card first. Have to look for some. You don't have to use craft card. You can easily change it up if you wish, but I adore craft card. And this is a nice, simple card to do. Oh, thank you, Helen. I'm glad you're enjoying the 12 days event. It's just fab. And it's lovely to see everybody joining in as well. It really makes me happy. It's wonderful. And Diane says, hi, Sally. So I'm going to start with this. Now, if you've handled the card quite a bit, hello, Patricia. Fantastic project today, Patricia. Thank you very much. So if you've handled the card quite a bit, I'd use an anti-static bag just so that any embossing powder or strays don't stick everywhere. Why was the snowman rooting through the carrots? He was picking his nose. Hi, Karen. I like that one, Angela. Hi, Karen. Warm welcome. So we'll make a start on the card and then we'll have a look at our trivia. So I'm going to take the Poinsettia. So I'm going to use the Poinsettia TE20. I had a couple of requests and I thought, well, why don't I use it in tonight's live? So I'm going to take the Poinsettia. I'm going to, I know, they just fly by, don't they, Diane? When you say simple, how long to make? Say 30 of them? There's a bit of colouring, so no, it's not that difficult because even the colouring's simple, so no. It's really easy. So I'm going to use Versamark and I'm going to use Wow Opaque Bright White. Oh, my jokes are incoming. Yes, jokes and trivia. So I'm going to ink the Poinsettia up with the Versamark ink. Now this card is super absorbent. Hello, Katrina. Hello there. So this card is really absorbent. Hi, Marie. And because it's so absorbent, I'm giving the stamp a little bit more of that tapping. So tap, 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 just so that I make sure there's a really good layer of that sticky ink on the stamp set, mainly because the craft card is so absorbent, and with a cat who wants to jump on my lap, that'll make it easier then. Which way do I want this now? I can never decide which way I want to have it. I spend ages. Let's have it there like that. So around about there. So I'm just adding this to the craft card. Hi, Anne, and I think Rebecca is here as well. Yes, she is, Patricia. She's here. She actually said, oh, I'm on time. But she has been working, so being on time is sort of probably a bit difficult. So I'm just adding the image to the craft card, and you can see how long I give that just to absorb onto the surface of that card. We've got a few little sort of silhouette areas here. Hello, Denise. Hi there. Warm welcome, everybody. I hope everybody's well. Already the 3rd day into December, which is just amazing. So we should have a reasonable impression there. Not that I can actually see anything. So I'm going to add, I posted loads of Christmas jokes and now it's a trend. Guess I really cracked everyone. Oh, crikey. No, you definitely shouldn't give up the day job. Stick to tacks, Sally. So that's nicely stuck where I want it. So maybe not as much there. Maybe there's a little bit. There we go. So I've now got the poinsettia on my craft card. I love that. Has parts to colour and a solid bit. Yes, just makes it a little bit different. So let's move that embossing powder because we know what I'll do. Hello, Jane. We know that I will drop that everywhere. So I'm just going to heat my heat tool up, which I've now got knotted in between all my cables. Let's see if we can move that a bit. So I'm just going to heat the heat tool up just a little bit, and then I'm going to melt my embossing powder. Evening all. Hello, Sue. I haven't done much. We're just embossing the poinsettia. I love the poinsettia and I love white. Thanks, Diane. And instead of wafting it, Tracy, keep it still. So as soon as it starts melting, just make sure that you move your heat tool so that you don't over emboss an area and it goes flat again. What's Ash Sheep's favourite Christmas song? Feliz Navidad. Some of these jokes, honestly, they're so poor, they're good. Right up my street. Hello, Heather. I'm getting to know more of you, which is great, and might even remember some names. No guarantees, though. Yeah, I'm hopeless, Helen, when there's so many names. Sorry I'm late. Sister will be phoning me shortly. No problem, Heather. You enjoy your call with your sister. So I've now got my focal image, which is the starting point. And then I thought I would use, where are you? The stencil, the post frame stencil. So I'm going to use this one. The song's now stuck in my head. On form again, Sally. Exactly. So I'll just add this stencil bit and then we'll have a look at our trivia. Love the effect of white embossing on craft card. It's one of my favourites, Kim. I love it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to decide where I want to put the postage stamp. So let's move that out of the way. So I want a little bit outside the postage stamp and some in. So I'm going to use some, haven't made any yet. Ooh, so I'm going to use some low tack tape. Now, sorry, a bit naughty. I'm going to use some low tack tape and I'm just going to de-tack it a little bit with this being craft card. With the craft card being a little bit more sort of fibrous, I'm just going to add a little bit of low tack tape. I'm not here. At least I'm on my lunch break. Hello, Lisa. I'll have to leave due to work call. No problem, Lisa. Thank you for popping in. Hello, Christelle from snowy Colorado. Can't even speak. So I'm just de-tacking it a little bit, just with that card being a little bit more fibrous. Now, it would help if it was sort of almost straight-ish. There we go, it's a little bit better. So I've got that taped down just so that it doesn't move too much for me. I'm then going to use my pigment white ink pad. I posted mine yesterday. Now what do I do? As I love making Christmas cards. Oh, make some more. That should have read snowman, not snow omen. So I'm going to take the white pigment ink, and I've got a blending brush just dedicated to the white pigment ink. My poinsettia plant is losing loads of leaves, not going to last until Christmas. They don't like it if they've got any drafts or anything like that, do they? They don't like any cold at all. What do you get if you eat all the Christmas tree decorations? Tinselitis. Oh. I'll do this, then I'm going to read one of mine. So I'm going to take the white and I'm just going to add, oh, you know what I've missed, don't you? You know what I've missed, don't you, ladies? let's lift this up. I've forgotten the mask. So let's place the mask down. And I've normally got a pointer. I got this first time, when I was, there we go. That's it. So now I've still got more than 20 here. Wow, you've been organised, haven't you? More organised than me, definitely. Right, we'll try adding the low tack tape now. So I've added a mask. Make one for me even. So I'm adding a mask just so that that poinsettia is protected. Hello, Anne-Marie. Just so that that's protected. So I've got a mask just on the poinsettia. Are you near where the skiing is, Christelle? So I'm just going to add some of the white just to the stencil, just going over the stencil. And I'm just adding a light layer of that white just over my stencil. Hello, Katinka. Hello there. So I'm just adding some of the pigment white ink pad. And just adding this over the stencil. As you can see, it's not exactly stuck down very well, my mask. So I'm just blending some of the pigment white. It doesn't matter that you're a bit late, Katinka, not a problem. So I'm just adding a few light layers of the white pigment ink. Wow, that white is really good. When you lift the stencil, you can really see, but I'm only adding it very lightly. I'm not adding too much. Doing your card from last night, then going to do Heidi's card from this morning. Brilliant, Heather. It was a lovely card this morning, wasn't it? So let's just add a little bit more white. And then what we'll do is we'll have a look with the stencil removed just to see if we're happy with the amount of white on there. Let's have a look. Oh, I can see I've just missed a little tiny bit. So we need a little bit more just here. Let me see if I've got that. That's better. So we've now got our little postage stamp around the poinsettia. And I don't know why I've removed the mask. So I'm going to put that mask back over. Why I removed it, I will never know. Is it that one? Yeah, that's it. So I'm going to place the mask back over. Thank you, Diane. I'm going to place the mask back over, but before we do that, let's have a trivia. Let's have a trivia. Got to do a trivia before we add some colour. No problem, Jackie. So what's the trivia today? Which two of Santa's reindeer have names that translate as thunder and lightning in German? Oh, so which two of Santa's reindeer have names that translate as thunder and lightning in German? Oh, thank you, Sue. Thank you. And we'll make this white look slightly different as well. So I'm loving this trivia. So if we've got anybody here from Germany, which two of Santa's reindeer have names that translate as thunder and lightning in German? See if oh yes, spot on, Nicola. Spot on. Nicola is correct. Donner and Blitzen. Oh, I didn't know that. Thunder and lightning. See, I've learned something new. Right, let's have a look at my joke. How many elves does it take to change a light bulb? Yes, you're all right. I like how you all know the answers. Oh, smart, Alex. Or did I show the answer? Yes, correct. Did I show the answer? because I've just looked in camera. How many elves does it take to change a light bulb? Hello, Emma. Every day is a school day. Oh, I found that quite interesting. How many elves does it take to change a light bulb? I'm behind again. Saw answers before Tracy asked the question. Oops. Maybe go out and refresh again. I've learnt German tonight. Exactly. So how many elves does it take to change a light bulb? I had no idea. And Helen's point, it depends on the light bulb that wants to be changed. Ich spreche Deutsch. Lived there for 5 years. Christmas was a lovely time there. Oh, how lovely, Kate. Right, so how many elves does it take to change a light bulb? It takes 10. 1 to change the bulb and 9 to stand on each other's shoulder. You should have known that answer. So it takes 10. 1 to change the light bulb and 9 to stand on each other's shoulder. We will have more as well. So I'm now going to use the berries stamp. TE55. No idea how many elves. 10. So I'm now going to use the berries stamp. You see, you appreciated that, didn't you? Now, I've kept my mask, figured it was something like that. It's a bit groan-worthy, I have to say. Exactly, Leslie. Oh, dear. So I'm going to use the berry stamp, TE55. And I'm going to be using this stamp here. German is where lots of our Christmas things come from. Yes, it is, Helen. Or do you mean your things at home? So I'm going to use this berry stamp here. What do you call a snowman with a 6-pack? And I know that one because somebody put it in group, an abdominal snowman. So I'm going to use my pigment white ink pad and I'm going to add the ink to the berries. So let's ink the berries up. And I'm going to add a few berries just to the inside of the postage stamp. And when we add some colour, that's where it will really come to life. So I'm just taking a little bit of time now just to add a few berries around the poinsettia. So you can turn your berries around so that you get some of the berries. Yeah, she's on a roll, isn't she, Trina? My boys were born in Germany, Army Hospital. Bruce was posted there. Oh, how lovely. I used the other berries today. So you can see I can still probably add, let's add a few more berries. Let's add a couple more berries. Add a couple more berries. Let's clean the stamp. So I'm just adding berries around here. The feed is behind on my mobile. I think that can happen. I have to refresh sometimes. So I've just inked up 2 of the berries and I'm just going to grab a little piece of kitchen roll just so that I don't get any moisture on that on the card. And then I'm just going to see if I can add 2 more berries just there. Thank you, Lynn. Wait till you see when it's added some colour. So all that is very simple. It's just white on white. So now we're going to add some colour. And it's where it really comes to life. But the colouring, because of the embossing, if you go out and refresh your screen, it should help. So that should help. So as you can see, it's all white on white, which you could leave it like that if you want. So if you wanted to leave it white, you could quite easily leave it white. But what I'm going to do is add some colour. So first of all, I'm going to add it to my leaves. And the colouring's very simple because the embossing and the white really helps. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to do some of the leafy areas. So let's just colour this in a little bit of white. Just add a couple of colour to the leaves. They don't have to be leaves, they can all be bracts and coloured in red. It's entirely up to you. But I'm just adding a little bit of my white pencil. So I'm going, oh, thank you, Karen. I'm using PC 938 just to colour white on my leaves. And because I've got that embossing over there, it's nothing too complicated at all. So I might just have those 4 leaves. A Christmas light asks another Christmas light, are you working over Christmas? On and off. Oh. On and off. Thank you, Leslie. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take olive green, PC 911. So let's make sure I'm in camera. And I'm going to add the dark green just to the couple of pieces that I'm adding as leaves. So I'm just going to add that dark green just to the leaves. And the colouring is really simple. The white pencil allows the colours to pop because we've added a light layer of that white pencil. So this is olive green 911. There's loads of jokes posted in the group, Anne-Marie. I'm then going to use spring green 913 and I'm going to blend into that darker green and just blend into that. And because of the craft and the little bit of white, it really starts to pop. It really starts to come to life. So just adding a little bit of the green. My son loves daft jokes. I'm with your son. I love daft jokes as well. And what a surprise, I'm going to use chartreuse, which is 989. So I'm just going to add the chartreuse and come into the other colours. Now you can see from this that you could quite easily leave it with 1 layer of colour because it instantly pops against that white. Refreshing doesn't work. I think it's my mobile connection. Ah, right. I love white on craft card. Now I can come in again and you can really get away with just 2 layers now with the craft because it pops beautifully. So you can get away with just 2 layers of the colour. So it works really nicely. So another layer of olive green 911. And then another layer of spring green 913. Just go into that darker colour with your spring green. Now you will get a little bit of bloom from the pencils with rubbing over the embossed area. So I'm going to add the, what do you call this? What did I say it was called? Chartreuse 989. What's the name of the hidden reindeer in the Rudolph song? Oh, I don't know, Kathleen. Hi, Jan. And then I'm going to add chartreuse. And can you see how the chartreuse and the greens really pop against that white? So that's just your greens. Again, you could stop it at that level if you wanted to. Good evening, Karen. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to colour the poinsettia. Now the poinsettia, I don't want it sort of red, bright red. I'm just going to use slightly change it. It's a little bit reddy, but not quite as red as normal. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add that little bit of white again. Hello, Lynn. Just to give a base layer to the bracts. Thank you, Louise. So I'm just going to give a white layer just to the bracts as they are known. So I'm using my white pencil 938, my white Prisma pencil. You could use pastel pencils. It's Olive, the other reindeer. It's Olive, the other reindeer. It's Olive, the other reindeer. Do you like how I'm being totally thick now? So I'm adding the white here, just so that this gives a base layer to my poinsettia. So it just gives a base layer to this at the moment, but everything with the craft will start to pop. I'm going to have another, I want another joke. Let's, in the song, I saw Mummy kissing Santa Claus. Where did Mummy tickle Santa Claus? Isn't it vibrant, Danielle? I love the greens. Wait till you see the other colours when it's added. It's just lovely. How many of us are now singing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? I can't because I'd put you all off watching. Thanks, Tracy. So in the song, I saw Mummy kissing Santa Claus. Where did Mummy tickle Santa Claus? Ian! I'm not repeating what Ian's just said. I will not repeat the rude comment that Ian's just shouted. So just add white to this, just so that it makes everything pop. Santa's reindeers are all female. The mains don't have antlers in the winter. Girl power, yes, girl power. So come on, where was Mummy tickling Santa Claus? Me too, Tracy. I'm glad it's not just me. He was getting in on the fun, but I'm not sharing. Not sure. He was getting a bit fruity, Leslie, but I think yes, this is getting a bit fruity. So Mummy had, where did Mummy tickle Santa Claus? Underneath his beard, so snowy white. Now don't be so rude. Underneath his beard, so snowy white. Yes, Ian was rude. I'm not even contemplating responding to what Ian said. I am not repeating what Ian said. It was disgusting. Right. What computer system do advent calendars use? No, Ian wasn't that polite, Fiona. He wasn't that polite. No, you couldn't say if you heard what Ian said, Susan. Depends how long his beard is. Yes, exactly, Sally. More to what sort of coordinates with Ian's response. What computer system do advent calendars use? What computer system do advent calendars use? We're all adults here, Tracy. No. Yes, Windows what? Katrina, Windows what? Disgusting. Exactly, Rebecca. You wouldn't catch me being disgusting like that at all. So what computer system do advent calendars use? And the answer is Windows 24. Windows, you missed the 24. It's Windows 24. No, 24. Right, so I'm now going to, that's it, Sally. I'm going to colour the poinsettia with black grape. Ian just has a different sense of humour. Yes, warped, Louise, warped. Exactly, Deborah, Windows 24. I thought 25 initially, but no, 24. So these are the pencils I still want to know. Something to do with sack, Anne. I'm saying no more. So I'm going to be using black grape, crimson lake and magenta. I used to teach IT. Oh, did you, Katrina? Oh, feel sorry for you. So the colours are 996, 925 and 930. I like that one. I'm late again, but I fell asleep. No problem, Catherine, no problem. So I'm going to start with black grape. So does my hubby and our 3 sons, and I'm used to it. Yes, Louise, yes. I'm used to it with Ian. He's just disgusting most of the time. He really is. So I'm using black grape, and the black grape is going to give me my dark edge. So I'm using black grape. I'm with Ian. I'll trust you lot to encourage Ian. He doesn't need much encouragement at the best of times. I didn't even know he was on the landing. Helen is asking, how are you, Catherine? So I'm just going to add the black grape just around the edge. Just so we've got the black grape just in to this area here, right in this central area here. I didn't even know Ian was on the landing. He just suddenly shouted up as I said that because he couldn't resist. So I'm using black grape initially, just to give me a dark layer. So that's my black grape, and you will notice when I add these it really works. I'm then using Crimson Lake PC 925. So we're going to go into the black grape with the crimson. So we're going to go into that black grape with the crimson, and it will start to come to life. That's good to know, Catherine. So we're just using the Crimson Lake, and we're coming into the dark colour. So let's come into the dark colour with the Crimson Lake. Now, it doesn't take long to colour. Don't forget, I've stopped and started, so it really doesn't take long to colour this in. So that's my Crimson Lake. And then just keep the colours in order. I'm then going to use my palest colour, which is Magenta 930. Thank you, Susan. So I'm then going to use Magenta. Come into the other colours with the Magenta, and you really could get away with 1 layer of colour if you wanted to. Just because of with that white embossing, it really begins to pop. So just blend the other colours with your magenta. And again, I've not pressed too hard. Santa's favourite music, rap. Yes, that's a good one. So then I'm going to use my white again. And with the white, I'm going to blend the other colours. Just blend the last colour out, just so that we haven't got a harsh edge. And it just gives a tinted edge of light pink, because it sort of feathers it out. So I'm just using the white just to feather the colour out a little bit. And we will come down a little bit further with that colour. But just adding a little bit more white. So, and when we colour the berries, it really does start to come to life. So again, I'm going to come in with the lovely black grape. So I'm coming in with that black grape. And that Diane isn't there, so I'll mention the colour again, 996. So I'm just coming in with the black grape. Oh, thank you, Sally. So I'm coming in with that black grape, just to give that a lovely, dark, deep, central area. I love colouring, Leslie. I absolutely love colouring. Now, whilst you've added that layer, go into the ridges here. Just go into these ridges where you've embossed, and there's a slight little opening. Just add a little bit of the pencil in that ridge. I'm then going to come back, thank you, Kate, going to come back to Crimson Lake. So with the Crimson Lake, we'll come into that dark colour, into the Crimson Lake. And just remember to come into the dark colour to blend. So come into that dark colour to blend the colours. So come into your dark colour. What set of Prismacolors do you have, Tracy? I was lucky to have the large set for Christmas. Oh, thank you. It really is simple if you layer lightly, Di. Oh, bless you. Thank you, Heather. So I'm coming in with my Crimson Lake because I can never remember the colour I'm using, so I have to keep staring at what I'm using. So let's just apply a little bit more of that crimson. It's a good job there's lots of snooker on TV and I can disappear in my craft room. Yay, Jeanette. And then I'm going to use magenta. So with magenta, I'll just bring that colour a little bit further down and come in, go into all the colours with your magenta. Now, you don't have to add as many colours with the white, sorry, as many layers with the white and the embossing. You don't have to add as many layers with your Prismacolors. It works beautifully even with just a few layers, so it's entirely up to you. Hello, Tracy. And then don't forget to come back with your white and just blend the colour. So don't leave your harsh edges at the end when you've added that final colour. Just use a little bit of your white just to blend out the last colour, just so you've got no harsh edges. No problem, Tracy. Doesn't matter that you're late. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of colour to the berries. Mine just bought apple pie and ice cream. Oh, lovely. And hubby's bringing chocolate. Oh, how lovely. I know we're a bit international, aren't we, Helen? It does give the poinsettia some depth, doesn't it? But we really need to add some colour to the berries. Maybe you should ask your husband to record a video of his jokes. Lisa, the air would be blue. Christmas crackers. I just coloured over the embossing, Heather, because what I'm going to do is just take a little bit of kitchen roll, not with the low tack tape on, and then I'm just going to buff it just slightly. Don't buff it too much, just buff that slightly. So I'm just going to buff the embossing slightly. Just takes a little bit of that colour off the embossing. I'm then going to add a little bit of colour just to the berries. So I'm using the same colours as I've used in the poinsettia. So I'm using the grape colour as I've used in the poinsettia. So I'm going to, thank you Katinka, use these colours on the berries. So I'm doing exactly that. So the grape, then the Crimson Lake. So I'm going to add a little bit of the Crimson Lake. So a little bit of the Crimson Lake. So I'm just adding a little bit of my Crimson Lake just over the berries. Oh, and I've missed two there. Just to give them a little bit of life. In fact, I missed three. So using the same colours that I've used in the poinsettia, just to give a little bit of life just to the berries. And it just brings them to life. I just have a small set of prismas called Botanical Garden. Oh, they sound lovely, Fiona. And then I'm going to use magenta. You could even colour the poinsettia just in all greens. It doesn't always have to be bright red. I did one pinks the other day, that looked lovely. So you can change it up a little bit. I stamped a Christmas card and it left quite an impression. Oh, I think you need to go to bed, Sally, because you're actually worse than I am. So I've got a little bit of colour on here, and it just needs another layer just to smooth those berries out. So let's smooth these berries out. Oh, thank you, Avril, thank you. So let's smooth these berries out a little bit. Craft, I can't recommend, you know, if you're starting out colouring and you really want something to look lovely, try it on craft. I can't recommend it enough because it's quite forgiving and it looks really lovely on craft. So I'm just going to come and add that last bit of red, and the berries you only really have to touch a little bit. But we will have to add touches of white when we come to the end. And what I would do is just highlight your berry stems just a little bit more, just so that you can see those are berries. So let's add some more touches. Goodbye everyone, have to go. Hubby just came in home from work. No problem, Yvonne, enjoy your evening meal. So I'm going to use the bleed proof white. That's the best one yet, Sally. Don't encourage her, Bev. She doesn't need much encouragement. So I'm adding a little bit of the bleed proof white to my lid. So let's just add some of that bleed proof white to my lid. Now take off the excess so that you've not got too much on there. Oh, thank you. You don't want to add too much. And what we want to do is just add a little bit of white to the berries, just so that they stand out just a little bit more. So we want to add that to the berries. And what you have to remember is I'm a little bit of a slow worker, so it does take me a little bit longer to create. So I'm going to add a little bit of this white here. Let's pick this up. Just add a little bit of that white there. And then we'll add a tiny few splatters. What did Fiona? I bought a poinsettia today with lovely colouring. Exactly, Fiona, have a go with that. It'll be lovely. So I'm just going to pick up a little bit of this white. I am altering between chuckling and watching. That sounds about right, Jane. So I'm just adding, with my fine brush, just some splatters of the bleed proof white. Just a few gentle splatters, nothing too overpowering. Okay, so what I want to do now, we've got a couple of finishing touches just to make it look lovely. I'm going to bring in, once I've done this, I'll need to lift it up so that you can see. So I'm going to use, oh, thank you, Jane. I'm going to use white gold. So let's add some water. Really, I should have added the water about 5 minutes ago. Thank you, Jane. I love practicing colouring. It's a great way just to, if you ever feel a bit stressed or fed up, it's a lovely way to pass the time. So I'm just going to stir this a little bit. Now, when you're using watercolours, thank you, Fiona, I would recommend when you're using watercolours, don't do what I'm doing. Sort of give it 5 minutes to sit. Really give it 5 minutes to sit. Right, so let me see. Yeah, so I've now got the white gold. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around the edges of my stenciled area. Now, wait until the end. And when I add this sort of touch of white gold, it then makes the white shading that I've added, it makes it almost look vellum-like when I've added this. So I'm giving this, oh, thank you, Helen. I'm just giving this a little bit of this white gold. And when I hold it up, it also makes the white pigment ink that I used with this, it makes it look like vellum. by adding this touch of white gold, and I'll hold it up so that you can see that. And I love adding, the hubby's cooking fish and the cats have just smelt it and ran downstairs. Oh, bless them, Kim. A nice treat. That's what they're thinking. Now, if I hold this up, you will see that it almost makes the white, you can see it in real life, it makes the white ink almost look translucent when it's opaque. So it makes it look like vellum with adding the white on there. So if I just hold that up so you can see the white gold, it just almost makes the white shading look like vellum. So then I'm going to pick this paint up. So pick the paint up now, a little bit more fluid. And let's add a few splatters of this. Let's add a little tiny bit of water. And we'll just add a few splatters of this as well. Now, don't add too much, it's just a little suggestion. But by adding the white gold, it does make that look almost vellum-like. It really does make it look vellum-like. Let's just wipe that up. Thank you. Thank you, Marie. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to give this a waft dry. Thank you, Sue. Just give this a waft dry. I can't dry it too much because you've got that embossing on there. So just be mindful of that. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to take the little bird from TE44, which is a little tiny bird from the myriad of designs, TE44. Just going to add a little bird. So there's two little finishing touches. Thank you, Ruth. I'm just going to add the bird down here. Just add my little bird. And I've got that many gold bits on my on my acrylic block. It's hilarious. I'm then going to take the word poinsettia. What do you get if you cross Santa with a detective? Santa Claus. Santa Claus. Yes, Gansai Tambi. I'm going to grab a little bit of spare craft card. I want another joke now. What's mine? What did the Eskimos sing when they got their Christmas dinner? Oh no. I can't sing it either. So what did the Eskimos sing when they got their Christmas dinner? So I'm just going to give you time to answer that. And I'm going to take my Versamark ink. She swallowed a joke book, hasn't she, Helen? What did the Eskimos sing when they got their Christmas dinner? What did the Eskimos sing when they got their Christmas dinner? So I'm using Versamark ink. I'm using Versamark ink to add the poinsettia word. And then we'll add some of that white embossing. Thank you, Christine. Where's my embossing powder gone? We'll meet again. That's not a bad answer, actually. So what did the Eskimos sing when they got their Christmas dinner? We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when. So you have to sing whale, meet again. Whale, meet again. I'm not singing it for anybody because my singing is terrible. Whale, meet again. You were almost there, Fiona. So I'm just embossing the sentiment in white as well. You got that really, Fiona. It was just whale meet again. I love this stencil. So I've now got my poinsettia word. Couldn't help it, sorry. I'm definitely not singing it. I wonder if any of you are singing it now with the word whale. rather than wheel. So I'm just hitting my little wording. And when you see Matt, the story of my life, so we've got the sentiment. Oh, and I've got my scissors right behind my iPad. Let me see if I can do it without leaning my arm over the project. See, you were impressed with that one, weren't you? Yours was good, Susan. So I'm going to take the little word. Let's cut that out. I like how you all think your jokes are good. It's stuck in my head now. You can tell that to your guests, Lynn. They won't want to visit again. So there we go. There's the word poinsettia. Let's sing Last Christmas I Gave You My Heart. I am not singing for anyone because I am tone deaf. Absolutely tone deaf. So I'm going to take the poinsettia word. Hopefully I won't add too much glue. And Anne loves the jokes. She loves them. She can tell them to a family then. So I'm going to use the poinsettia word just here so I can place it exactly where I want it by the bird. So I can add that quite nicely. Just give that a couple of seconds and then I'll add some shading. So in the meantime, no problem, Kim, you enjoy your dinner. You've not missed much really anyway. So I'm going to add this to a white mat, and when you start to mat and layer it, again it comes to life. I only sing when I'm in the car alone. Yes, I need to be alone, Lynn, trust me, because I cannot sing for toffee and nobody wants me singing to them. I know a rude version. Oh boy, there's no hope for us if you know a rude version. So then I'm going to add this to the craft card. So let's add this to our craft card. Doesn't an hour go quick when you're doing a Facebook Live? It just vanishes. I like young blood. What's that? I've been singing to young blood. Oh, young blood. I'm thinking, what's she on about? I was thinking, I was still on jokes. Right, there we go. I know I couldn't imagine the rude version. It's only Sally that can do that. I used to sing opera. Really? I'm definitely not singing then. Absolutely not. I'd put you off for life. So I'm then going to add this to my 5x7 card. I am not singing now. I know Fiona used to sing opera. Not a chance. It's a singer. Oh, right. So let's add that to here. Like so. There we go. I know, wow. What do snowmen wear on their heads? Ice caps. Yes, I think I told that one last year. I like that one. Cut out, not point. And that, ladies, is your card finished. Thank you, Denise. And I've managed to do it within an hour. Ian will know a rude version. Of course he does, Karen. Of course he does. No, Fiona, I am not singing now. I know that you used to sing opera. My son insisted put his headphones on him so he didn't have to listen to me killing it. I'm not surprised, Susan. And I've managed to do it within an hour. And it is completely flat apart from our sentiment. Now, what you can do, you can add more white if you wish. You can make the white even more prominent if you wish. But I like it as it is because it looks a little bit like vellum, but it's flat. So it works really nicely. So I hope you enjoyed that, ladies. Thank you. I've really enjoyed your company. And it's another little idea then with our pigment ink pad for using in a different way. Oh, thank you, Joe. Can you believe we've done 3 days? It's just amazing. Now I need to draw a winner, which I nearly forgot. So none of you reminded me, did you? Oh, thank you, Louise. Just bear with me while I grab my iPad. Let's just scroll up and then I'll lose all the comments. And the winner is, I can't even see. Oh, it says report comment. Is Catherine Rogers. So I've just scrolled up and then stopped the comments with my finger. Catherine Rogers. Can you message me, Catherine? And you have won £20 to spend in the shop. You're very welcome, Helen. So Catherine Rogers, if you can message me, I can then send you a code for £20 for the shop. So thank you all, ladies. Thank you for joining me. I'm really enjoying just having a little play. And thank you to Fiona and Bev because they wanted a card with the poinsettia. So that's what prompted me to make this tonight. So thank you so much. Thank you, Sue. Thank you, Sally, for your wonderful jokes. Let's cough there. Thank you so much, everyone. And I'll see you all tomorrow evening. And tomorrow we have, it's Lynn tomorrow. I think it's Lynn. No, it was Lynn the weekend. No, I think it's Lynn tomorrow because it's Rebecca Friday. I'm sure it's Lynn tomorrow. I forgot to add the pigment ink pad to my basket for my... That's all right. You can just sponge. So bye, everyone. Bye. Have a lovely evening. Bye.